Alright, we're going to put some trees. I'm not going to get into the grass. That's a different subject entirely. But like bushes and trees, making new bushes and trees, unless you're making your own models in Blender, uh, which I haven't made many. I mean, I made a few, but assuming you haven't made any, let's go into the Steam library and let's go into BeamNG Drive, uh, content levels, and let's pick a different map that you are not using. So if you're using Jungle Rock, pick a different one. If you're using anything else, well, you can pick Jungle Rock or pick a different one just anything other than what you're already using. Extract it onto the desktop. Then go into while it's doing that, go to your level, to your art folder, to your level, and shapes. We'll go into my level, I guess. Let me go into my new level. Alright, go into your level, whatever your level is, go into your art shapes folder. Alright. And in your extracted game folder, go into the art shapes folder. You'll see that you may have trees, but what you're going to do is just rename their folder to be a different name, just so that you can copy it into yours without overwriting it. I mean, you could probably take all that stuff out of there and put it in your tree folder, but we're going to do it this way. Now we're going to load the game, and then we're going to load that level. The level that you copied the stuff into. Not the game level that you just unzipped. Alright, there's a couple things I gotta do first. I was just experimenting with some stuff that did not end up working. I have like 6 ground terrains, and it did not work. Alright. Once you get into your level, go to the forest tool. Now make sure you got your inspector open. You're not going to need the material editor, but just make sure you got your inspector open here. Pull up your forest tool, and where you see brushes and meshes, go to meshes and pick add new mesh. Now navigate to that folder you just copied over from the game, like you saw where I copied over the Jungle Rock trees and I renamed them. Go to that folder, whichever one you picked, art shapes trees 3. Now in here you're going to just basically find a DAE file. These are the models. So we're going to go with Tro bush huge. Alright. Now this is making the new mesh. Here. Because I just, let me slide this out. See, you can see this is that DAE file. So I'm going to copy this name just because I'm lazy. I'm going to go to brushes. I'm going to say add new brush group. And then at the bottom you see brush 2. Double click it. And then I'm going to paste the name and hit enter. And now I'm going to say right here next to add new brush group, you see add new brush element. I'm going to double click that. I'm going to paste that name and hit enter. Now with the element selected, which you see this little thing, you open it up and then you get, there's the element. Just think of the elements just this one little tree, and the group is 3. So with the element selected, you go over here to forest item data. Now you pick that there it is, Tro bush huge. See, now that it's here, you can now paint it on the ground. Let's make another one. Go to meshes, add new mesh, navigate to that folder, trees 3. This time let's pick a tropical tree. Let's see, how about Tro tree 2 tall 2. Let's go with that one. Now you can name it whatever you want to name it. I'm just keeping it the same name. But go to your brushes after you select the mesh and make a new brush group. And you can name it whatever you want to name it. Just hit enter once you do, and add a new element and name it. And then with the element selected and the forest item data, pick that new one. There it is, Tro tree 2 tall 2. Now you can paint that new tree, which is just paused. There it goes. Took it a while to draw it, I guess. Now remember, you always can pick multiple things at one time so that it's drawing different things. And it ain't got to be trees. It can be other things. So let's make something else. New. Levels. Art. Shapes. Let's go to miscellaneous. Let's pick this container. And then go to brush. New group. And then add a new element. And then with the element selected, pick the new mesh that we just picked, which was container. And now we can paint containers. I'll just paint one. This is a good example to show. This is where in your element, where you got your element here for the container, this is where you can change the rotation range. So like just say 1, where they'll all face the same way. But you can't like just specify like any old direction it's gonna it's gonna like randomly go between different ones. This isn't really great for arranging things. If you really want to arrange things like this, it's better to just uh, go into the asset browser, and in all models at the top you can type in the name of that container and pick it, or pick another one and left click and drag it into the level. See, once you do it this way, you got options. You can, you know, you can grab one of these handlebars here, hold down shift, and make a copy, or hold down or hit select one, then hold down shift, hit select the other one, and make a copy of two of them. Or you can go over here in the scene tree and select them this way and make a copy. Or rotate them. Where this is a lot easier to like make custom things. And once you get familiar with the hotkeys, shifting between selecting an item, one is the movement and two is the rotation. So it won't be long. You'll be pretty comfortable moving stuff around and positioning things. And yeah, it's just you can't really do that with the forest tool. See, these were the ones from the forest tool. You can't pick them and move them or anything. Yeah, erase them when you erase things. Remember, when you erase things with the forest tool, if the density is real low, it's a lot quicker if the density is higher when you're erasing things. And also, sometimes you have to be kind of like directly above them to erase forest item tools. It can sometimes be tricky to erase forest items things if there's other things in the front, but for the most part, that's how you erase them. Now, forest item won't work on hand placed things. Hand placed things, you got to either pick over here and delete them out of here, or select them by just clicking on them, and hitting delete. So keep that in mind. I tried to copy a game level. I wanted to make an old arcade game called Outrun. I wanted to remake like one of the maps from like the first stage, and I think it was I don't remember which map it was exactly. One of the maps I wanted to made a copy of the map and renamed it to Outrun, and I loaded the editor and I tried to delete some stuff. I tried to delete everything. I wanted just a flat piece of ground with no trees, no rocks, no nothing, and there was just things that I couldn't delete. I couldn't figure out how to delete them. I mean, it was one time before that had happened to me on like, I think it was a grid map. Like at the bottom of the map, there was some forest stuff. I just couldn't get go away. I ended up deleting the actual forest data block accidentally. I got all these little things placed, and I can just say edit, rebuild collision, spawn my car over here. Pick something different than that. Like a motorcycle to get up that. Or one double wide. Alright, well, that's that. That's how you can get some new stuff into your level. There's probably another way you can get them in there without having to actually create the new forest brushes, but I don't really know. Now, I modeled some of my own stuff, but some of the stuff I wasn't really happy with. Like I made this tree. I'll just load the ones I made. So a lot of them look alike. They may be the same one. This one didn't work right. That one's just ugly. So I was just looking for low polygon solutions for things in the background. I just got a poles. Oh, this was one of the bushes I tried to make. I was just experimenting, you know. I mean, I like the texture, but it didn't quite do right. As you can see, it looks really weird. And it's like made this one. I like the bottom of the tree. I like the leaves. But the technique I used to make the branches, the texture map, the UV maps were all messed up. And I think I made like a couple varieties of these. Not sure which one. One of them ain't got limbs at all in it. Yeah, that's the one that doesn't even have any limbs or a bottom to it. That's the same one. Okay, here's a different one. Man, that looked like crap. That didn't work at all. I don't know what happened here. That's alright. So, say you make your own little tree like this in Blender, and you want to make it into your forest tool. Which one is that? Tree E? Yeah, tree E. And you go to your forest tool. Pick paint to get the little thing come up here. Yeah, go to meshes, say add new mesh, and locate that model. Tree E. I don't know where is that? Yeah, oh, it's capital T. Alright, capital T. Alright, now I got the model picked. Now all I got to do is make a brush group and brush element. And then an element. Oh, wrong thing. New brush element. And pick that mesh. And now I can, damn, a whole shitload of them there. Alright. See, now I can paint that tree. Which I think the forest tool is great if you want to do a lot of planning and you don't want to have to manually place them all. But if you do like something like this, you'd want to have some variety where you got different size ones, like a range, like different sizes, different rotations. Which this model you can't really do a whole lot with other than have a few different sizes. So yeah. Now you can also use this with rocks, which my rocks I made are on. Actually, I got one I already made. So like this is some rocks that I made that ain't drawn for some reason. No forest item. That's why. Alright, make a new mesh. Levels. Oh. Rock 60. Damn, them are little. Yeah, these sucked. I didn't like these. Damn lodge was messed up. I think these are alright. Now I know I made that mesh. Yeah. Oh, I ain't damn see. There they are. So yeah, these are the rocks. And you can have, different size ones. Some small, some large, which that's exaggerated, of course. So yeah, you can use this for pretty much anything. Um, it's just if you want to be more precise on placing things, I just think it's easier to put them down with the asset browser. Depending on how you want to, you know, I don't know. I guess it's just a matter of preference, really. Which method you prefer to use. But I can't think of much else, really. I know the grass, that's a whole different thing. I'll have to get into that later. Um, that's a whole different thing than the forest thing. But you can use the forest to do. Let me just save the grass for another video because that's just. If I start talking about that, I'm gonna have to get into the other part of that. And I think I've blabbed long enough on this one. So I'll do that one in another video.